a rule of thumb is sometimes, man, I give myself 24 to 48 hours before I speak about something.
Till she come back smelling like rubber and black in my house.
Get out of here.
All right.
Might have papers on the door and shit. Wow, yo.
On to the next
Eviction
question.
papers.
That black and
It's
mild
been nice
smoke.
knowing you.
That black and mild smoke come with
Yo.
black Air Force One action too.
My shorty shouldn't be nowhere with black and mouse. Anyway.
Would you marry a woman that wants to be a stay-at-home mom forever, meaning she doesn't want to get a job?
Oh. Would I marry a woman who wants to be a stay-at-home mom?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And the reason why is because I would like to have children at some point. And I understand that.
What? Wait. You want to have
Hold
children?
on.
Okay, go ahead.
You said she want to be a stay-at-home mom.
But she can't have children and go to work?
It says if she wants to be a
Flintstone shit.
Yo. You asked me a question.
Go ahead. My fault.
You said if she want to be a stay-at-home mom.
But you equated it to having kids. He was like, I want to have kids.
Yeah.
So my woman needs to be home like Wilma.
No. I'm saying I desire to have children.
Go ahead.
This dude always want to flip my words, huh? Just to give jokes. Yo.
No, go ahead. My fault. I digress.
I desire to have kids at some point. So, I mean, dude, have you seen what daycare costs?
Yo, that's your motive, then.
No, I just think too.
I do see what daycare costs.
I think too, like we're modern, and we kind of allow this whole like traditional thing to sometimes be old fashioned. But can you agree that some traditional ways has some good values to them? Like they have good results. Like it might not work for everybody, but for some people, it worked out.
It worked out for a reason, though.
Why?
Because before women had like real white rights where they can actually go and get somewhat of an equal pay, not saying they get equal pay now.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the woman was home because they were getting paid, like men were probably getting paid like 15 cents. Women were getting paid like 5 cents. So it costs her 3 cents to go back and forth to work.
Right.
So the man's like, yo, you might as well just stay home.
Right.
Because it's costing more for you to go to work.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense.
That's true.
So at that point, it made more sense for the woman. But now, in a certain sense, women make more than men.
That's true.
So why would you? And then
I'm saying if you can.
But I'm saying there's also a statistic where women are always going to be, well, not always be behind men because of the fact that they have kids.
Yeah.
So when they have kids, they lose earning power because they have to be home taking care of the kids and taking time off their career, which they could be losing out on promotion. They could be doing all these other things that keep them behind a man.
Right.
So for me, I don't know. For me, I couldn't have somebody that wants to be a stay-at-home mom because it's a lot of pressure on me.
Okay.
Because when she's home and I get home, now I got to be the entertainment because she's been home, she's been with kids, she hasn't spoken to an adult.
Are you speaking?
So now I'm the adult she's going to talk to.
So are you speaking from a lack of resources, or are you speaking of you you can take care of everything financially and you still want her to have a job?
It doesn't matter. Even if I was up, like even if I had, let's say I had 40 mil.
Yeah. Right?
And I could afford for her, I would want her out doing things and kind of having her own life and talking to people and having her own friends. You're kind of isolated when you're kind of like a stay-at-home mom because you're only hanging with like
this is great
people that kind of like are in that circle, like moms that are home versus. And then sometimes some of these women kind of regret it because then they feel like they didn't do certain things that they wanted to do. So I feel like for me, I'd rather that person want to be out. But if there's certain people that want to be a stay-at-home mom, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But for me, I'd rather somebody that wants to be out and doing other things and be a mom versus just being home with a mom because it's too much pressure for me to come home and be that person for that.
All right. So let's reverse it. Right? Me, I wanted to be at the crib because there'll be no complaints about the cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Unlimited cheeks must be available. You're at the crib. You're not out. You're not stressed. You should have all these issues that I got to deal with. I'm going out. I'm killing. I'm bringing home the bacon. I want unlimited cheeks on demand. Right?
Okay.
No questions asked. Right?
Mm-hmm.
My perspective is these women can they can have like their own community, as you said. So I think the pressures of the work environment, being on a job, being in a corporate environment or whatever, they can find a way that they want to do something entrepreneurship, staying at home, or they're able to, because I always believe when you have more time, if it's not idle, you can come up with ideas. And if I have the resources to keep you at home, to take care of our children, to take care of the things of the house, and just let me do what I need to do, I think it just brings the family back. I think it creates also purpose. Like, what do I need her to do? What do I need her to be? And vice versa. I'm the one who's going and working. She's staying at home. She's making sure this is organized. That's organized. She's able to keep me organized. She's able to help me with whatever. And so that's my perspective of keeping a woman at home. And from just looking back from experience, when I was growing up, my pops kind of had that role, and things seem to be a lot better when I've seen other, men who the women stayed at home.
But is that from a standpoint of what you see or what you know?
I think it's a little bit of both. So when I'm speaking from my mom and dad, I was raised in that, and I seen that it kind of kept us together until a certain point. What I do understand, what your point is though, is when the kids get out the house, sometimes the women that raise those kids feel like they have no purpose no more because they built their whole life around the kids. And so what you see after 20 years, these two people get divorced because now there's an identity crisis, in which we've been talking about that on My EQ, is about identity crisis and knowing your purpose and knowing how to flow and operate.
So you're kind of speaking to what I'm saying though, man. Like, where if people have purpose, people need drive.
Yep.
And I learned from even being a kid, like, when you gotta depend on your parents, they can always flex on you. They can always be like, yo, I make the money, I do this.
Right.
So that's why I would want a woman that kind of just wants to be both, because I don't want her to feel like, yo, I'm the one, because I'm making money, she has to act a certain way or talk a certain way. And now you might feel a little bit indifferent, or you might not feel like, damn, now I don't feel like I'm contributing because I don't have money. So all those things could easily play on a relationship.
Yeah.
So I'd rather somebody that wants to do both.
Right.
So then I don't have the responsibilities of being that person's main source of contact and talking and bouncing ideas off. Because it's something to me where someone can go outside and socialize with people and bring their ideas, and me socialize with people and bring ideas, because there's something to experiences and having experiences and talking to different people and sharing their experiences, and then bring them back home, and y'all kind of like really talk about things like, maybe we should do this. I heard about this. It's hard to do that when I know you're like, yo, it should be unlimited cheeks, all that stuff. It's hard to do that when you're dealing with a newborn and you're not sleeping correctly, and you trying to like.
But take that,
taking a breath. Go ahead.
My thing was, you take that and you add her having to go to work after she had a kid. So that's extra power. That's extra.
It's not, because she gets a break. You don't get a break when you're home. It's hard to get a break when you're home because you're dealing with bottles. You're dealing with nursing. You're dealing with putting the baby down. The baby might not be sleeping. Like, it's constant. But when she's at work, there's a sitter, or there's somebody else that's taking those responsibilities. When she comes home, she's still doing something that might be fulfilling, that might give her a little bit more purpose, depending if you want to be a stay-at-home, or depending if you're somebody who's a hybrid, you want to do both.
But I asked you about resources because women can be at home and still have a sitter. They can still have assistants. They can still have a nanny in-house to look at the kids and go get a nap and be ready for you. And let's think, you know what I'm talking about. So what
you should be ready for you, though.
Yo,
like, she's just going.
Let's be honest.
You come home like, oh, it's go time.
You talking about go to work and get a break? That's not a break. Some women who work you know, there are statistics now that talk about women in corporate America and women just in general that work. They're at a higher stress levels than ever before because they're constantly. You can't turn it on.
Opportunity than ever before.
Opportunity for what?
To progress more, to make more. Like this.
And what does more equals? What does more equal?
Depending on who you are, depending on what type of woman you are. If you're a woman that's like, yo, I have dreams and ambitions, and I want to be fulfilled. It all depends on what you want. If it's a stay-home mom and that's her ambition, then that's great. But if it's a woman that's like, I want to be a mom and I want to be a career woman, then that's not so good.
How many career people you know that work in corporate America or just in general that gets more and they say they don't have to work, they work less or they stress less?
They stress less?
Yeah. How many do you know? Because I don't know many.
Stress is part of life, bro.
That's understandable. But you're telling me this person just had children and they're trying to progress in corporate America. So they got the stress at home and then they're working. They got stress at work.
But the stress at work is different because if you have purpose and this is towards a goal and a purpose,
right?
Purpose is different. Purpose and stress related to that purpose is different than stress. Just I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I want.
So that's ladies, if you're watching this pod, we want you to comment on this because we want to hear back from ladies about are there women out there who still want to be, once you have children, you can just stay at home and focus on your kids, or do you want to have kids and still want to work?
Be ready. You got to be ready.
Be ready. Look, are you going to be ready to have your kids and then still be ready for your husband if you still got to work and do all these things? Look, I can be wrong. Dave can be right. We're having this pod too.
When you come home, like the mic just drop off the ceiling. Like, let's get ready to rumble.
Daddy's home.
Michael Buffer
Daddy's home. You know what time it is. You've been here for 9 hours by yourself. It's me time.
You tripping, son. We out of here.
We out of here.
Someone born with greatness, others born with hatred. The Lord awaits me, but before I'm gone, I'm caking. Getting it on for kids, make a child, all the kids, just witnesses. Random straight shots hit the innocent.